Hi, welcome back. This is Gina from Her Cosmic Crown, and today we are going to go over the cards and the card meanings and birth cards, every birth card that exists. So this is based on the Cards of Truth system. Ernst Wilhelm, my teacher, created this system that is based on very ancient knowledge, and it's using playing cards. So each day corresponds with a playing card, and each playing card corresponds to nature, and the way he teaches it to correspond with numerology, astrology, and tarot cards. So it's a really interesting system. If you were born between midnight and sunrise, your birth card will correspond to the card before, so not that day's card. Okay, so here is the chart of all the birth cards, and I am going to go over each one. We're constantly growing to become more of our birth card. So our birth card is the essence of who we are. Diamonds. So the diamond suit is the very last suit that has to do with anything that's valuable. That includes land, skills, respect, the big prize, literally diamonds or any kind of gemstones, precious gemstones, money, recognition, all of those things fall under the diamond suit. And anyone with a diamond birth card is really working on their self-worth. This also has to do with the material realm. So they are learning how to navigate the real world, how to navigate this material realm, and figuring out, is it worth it, right? So for one person, it might be worth it to spend thousands of dollars on designer bags or designer clothes, whereas another person says it's not worth it to them. What is valuable is going to be unique to each individual. There is no right or wrong answer. That is just what they need to explore. What is valuable to a person is going to be unique to that individual, and that's up to them to decide if it's truly worth their time or not. And they kind of have to navigate this material world to figure out if it's worth it or not. Is it worth it to be in a relationship with someone who maybe doesn't make that much money but really respects you? Or is that not worth it to you? Is it worth it for you to commute 2 hours to work and 2 hours back? So every diamonds person is learning what is truly worth their time, what is truly valuable, what is worth their time, money, and energy in this unique material world that we live in. Ace of Diamonds corresponds to the Moon Tarot card and to the Sun. And all aces represent new things, new beginnings, a new part of a cycle, a new journey. So this can be a really interesting card because a person can really have new experiences in their lives. So it's important for a person with the Ace of Diamonds birth card to be open to experiencing new things in their lives, being open to working on new skills. And as we work on a new skill, perhaps that's a new form of income. There's a correlation between our self-worth and what price we put on our own value. If we have a product that we are selling, that is representing our self-worth. So a person is learning about what their self-worth is with the Ace of Diamonds, and they are learning to what their value is and learning new skills, being able to learn something new and accept that. How we feel about ourselves and our self-worth corresponds to oftentimes how much we make. So it is important to really explore your self-worth and to know how much you're worth and know your value. This card also has to do with kind of like a new respect for yourself. So as you learn your self-worth and you know that, hey, I'm not putting up with X, Y, and Z, I'm not putting up with this toxic situation, you know that you're worth more than that, then you can invite a new experience into your life. You can go towards what is aligned with your self-worth. You're working on having new things that you respect and a new respect for yourself as well. This card is great for just having new things of value in your life. So it's a really nice card, and as you embrace new valuable things in your life, new valuable experiences into your life, you're discovering your self-worth even more as you have these new experiences in your life. Two of Diamonds. Two of Diamonds corresponds to the Empress Tarot card and to the Moon. So with this card, you are connecting to something. Twos are about connecting to something, attracting something into your life. So you're here to attract experiences, material experiences into your life, and discovering what is worthy, what is worth your time. You are here to discover what is worth your time, what is worth your money, your energy. You're here to connect to opportunities, skills, anything that is worthwhile to you. You are here to connect to that prize. And another thing that is really valuable in this material realm that we live in is land. So Two of Diamonds is a big card that has to do with connecting to land. Whenever I see a Two of Diamonds pop up, a lot of times I think, oh, that person is going to move or find new land, right? And the potential is endless with new land, right? So it doesn't mean it's going to be a great place, but it's a good starting point. And the more you connect with, the more things that you connect with that have the potential of a lot of value, the more experiences you have with the world, the more you will connect to the things that are truly valuable to you. So the question that would be important for you to ask maybe is this experience valuable to me? A lot of times we think something is of value to us, but it really isn't. It's just, we're just trying to impress other people a lot of times. So you want to get to the core of what our values are. And for me, I value books a lot. So I can spend a little bit more money on books than something else that I might not find valuable. So that might impress other people, but it's not going to make me feel any better about myself. So this card is all about connecting to what is really important to you, what is essential for you in your life to make this material world more beneficial, more worthwhile for you. This card can also mean connecting to money. Money is also something very valuable in this world, so you might be able to attract money into your life. And it might not be money, it could just be anything you need, because all twos represent getting your needs met with something. So you are learning to find opportunities where you can get your needs met, right? So if you have $1 million in your bank account, but you are stranded on an island, your $1 million isn't going to be too helpful. So you're not going to be prosperous at that moment. So prosperous meaning getting what you need when you need it. So maybe you have a skill if you're stranded on an island, which diamonds represent, where you can construct some kind of shelter, you can build a fire, and you know how to fish. That's getting what you need when you need it. You have some kind of skill. There's something within you that's valuable that you can get what you need when you need it. You are here to learn what is truly valuable for you. Is it the $1 million? Or maybe there's some kind of skill that you would want to tap into that would make your life even more valuable. Three of Diamonds. Three of Diamonds corresponds to the Temperance Tarot card and to the planet Mars. Three of Diamonds is about putting a lot of effort into your skills, energy into your skills. It's a card of training. You can probably benefit from training for something that can make your life more valuable, to make you more valuable at your job or your business. This card is also a card of emergencies, actually. So there can be a person with this birth card can have lots of emergencies pop up in their lives where they're like, oh my gosh, now I have to tend to this, I gotta tend to that. This card makes a person intuitive because they've had to try different experiences to see what works, to see what their value is, to see what skills would be, what skill sets would be best for them. And because of this, they deal with emergencies in an intuitive way. They've kind of already dealt with that in the past. They've already dealt with a similar situation before, and maybe intuitively they're like, okay, I think this might be the best way to do it. Three of Diamonds corresponds to the Temperance Tarot card, and Temperance is basically restraint. It's basically the opposite of willpower. So Mars has two facets to it. On one hand, it's the willpower, it's the masculine, I will do this. And then the feminine, which Three of Diamonds is a feminine card, it's more of the won't power. It's having that restraint. Like, I won't get involved in this relationship because it's not, I don't see the value of it. A person with the Three of Diamonds birth card is really working on their won't power, if you will. They're working on restraining. They're working on, you know, they're really working on asking themselves, this is where I want to be in my life. How am I going to get to that place? Is this situation worth my time and energy? Is this going to help me in life? So you know you are really working this card if you are using a lot of restraint and asking yourself if this is valuable to you. Even if it's something that's tempting, you can ask yourself, is this something of great worth for me? And if not, then you are able to say no to that thing and put your energy towards something that will be more worth your time and energy. Four of Diamonds birth card. This card corresponds to the High Priestess Tarot card and to Mercury. So fours are all about our foundation. It's all about this secure place. And a person with Four of Diamonds is ultimately trying to find their security in life. And this can come in many forms. It can be really important for them to have a secure home. You know, they just want a home to go home to, right? They just want to be solid in life. If a person is more skill oriented, they might want to work on their skills. It's important for them to get to the point where they're like, okay, I've spent 15 years working on this skill. I feel very solid with it, and this is a great feeling, right? Or I've been at this job for 15 years and I feel very secure here. So that is what a person with a Four of Diamonds is working on. They're working on having that security. And having that security really comes from self-worth as well. So if they know what is worthy to them, what's valuable to them in their lives, then they'll be able to accept those things more readily in their lives. So they won't waste their time, money, and energy on people and things who aren't aligned with what is going to provide security in their lives. Four of Diamonds corresponds to Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of investigation, of trying new things, of exploring. Before we can get to the secure place, it is important for us to oftentimes try to see what works for us, because a lot of times we don't know automatically that, hey, this career path this is what I value in a relationship. Whatever the case may be, oftentimes it takes time for us to get to that point where we're like, okay, this is what I value. This is my worth. This is what I'm willing to put into my skills. And this is what I'm willing to accept as a secure foundation for me. Five of Diamonds. Five of Diamonds corresponds to the Justice Tarot card and to the planet Jupiter. So this card is all about improving something a lot of times. When we have this, anytime we have fives, we are looking to improve something, make something better. So a person with this can really want to improve their financial situation, their material situation, right? So what comes before the Five of Diamonds is the Four of Diamonds. Four of Diamonds is all about having that secure foundation. And the Five of Diamonds says, hey, this secure foundation, it's nice, but I want something better. I want to improve my life. I want to go to the next step, right? A step up. Maybe a person has a house that's a secure foundation, but they want to add to it. So they want to add a garden or whatever the case may be. So Five of Diamonds is improving their material world. They could be trying to improve their financial situation. And a lot of times, anytime we want to make improvements, it's going to take a lot of work. So Five of Diamonds is not the easiest card because it does take more effort. And it does take effort to try to move something to a different step, another level. Another thing about this card is that fives represent something getting averted from our lives. Maybe a person thinks that they're financially stable, but something comes into their life where they're no longer financially stable or as financially stable as they thought they were or would like to be. And so now what they're trying to go towards gets averted. They're trying to have a certain level of success, and that gets averted. And that can be difficult, that can be challenging. So this is the card where we're having to face challenges in life. It's like, okay, if I don't, do this work, if I don't, work two jobs, I'm not going to be able to pay my rent or whatever the case may be. So it's really having to put effort into the material realm. It's important for this birth card to really work on their self-worth and say, is this worth it to me? Is putting all my energy and money and skills into this thing, is it really worth it? Because I'm having to put so much energy into this. And is this something that I'm worth? Am I worth this amount? Am I worth more? Like with all red five cards, this card is ruled by the Justice Tarot card. So anything that gets averted from your life, say a stream of income, well, there's perfect justice in that. Okay, so that thing is no longer meant to be in your life and you're supposed to go into a different direction. Also, this card is all about taking risks. So in order to leave that comfort zone, to step out of our comfort zone, which is the Four of Diamonds, to jump into an area where we're trying to have a better situation, that takes a risk, right? So for example, we see this all the time when people leave one country to go to another country. A lot of times they're taking that big risk, not necessarily for an adventure, even though that's maybe what some people do, but a lot of people move to another country, move to another land, which diamonds represent. They move to this other place for a better experience. So Five of Diamonds is really connected to moving in order to have this better life and experience, which all human beings want to do. They want to have the best for them and their family. Six of Diamonds. The Six of Diamonds birth card corresponds to the Double Tarot card and to the planet Venus. So Six of Diamonds is the ultimate fulfillment that we're going to have in this world, you know, and that is going to look differently for each person. So Six of Diamonds is all about making the most of what you have, whatever resources you have, whatever skill sets you have, whatever dwelling you have, or anything in the material world, the amount of respect you have. And that could look like, you know, that you can have a lot of things in the material world, or you may not have a lot of fulfillment in the material world. But if you do happen to have this birth card, you are here to make the most of that experience and not really get tempted by, you know, the shiny things that we see in this world, right? And not really covet what the people next door have. Like, oh, they have a new car. Oh, my car is getting kind of old. Maybe I should get one. Well, of course, if you're able to get one, and that's what you really want and you really value a new car, then absolutely go for it. But when we try to get something new to impress other people or to compete with others, and we have a Six of Diamonds birth card, that can really go against what this birth card is about. This card is really about knowing your worth and aligning with your worth, attracting things into your life that are compatible with your self-worth and what you are given in this lifetime and what you're meant to experience this lifetime, instead of looking at what other people are experiencing this lifetime and what they're meant to experience. You are here to be fulfilled. You are here to be happy with what you have, with your skills, and just embrace that this is the most fulfillment that I'm going to have in my life, and I am content. And if you can embrace that, you will be very, very happy and content with life. So just make sure that whatever you are involved in is worth your time, money, and energy. And if it is, then keep doing it. If it's providing you with happiness, keep doing it. And if you feel that things are aligning in your life and are balanced, then that is a beautiful thing. Seven of Diamonds. The Seven of Diamonds birth card corresponds to the Death Tarot card and to Saturn. With this card, a person is really here to embrace the losses that they have in life, financial losses, any kind of losses in the material world, including losing a house, a job, friends, family, okay, so losing anything in this life. And this can be a tough card. All sevens can be really tough because it's really forcing us to kind of surrender. There's nothing we can do with sevens. There's nothing we can do with Saturn, because when a Saturn transit hits one of our planets or houses in our charts, then that thing is no longer us. It's no longer meant to be in our lives. So it doesn't matter how much we pray or, you know, try to get that thing back. If it's Saturn, it's, you know, taking it out of our lives. And then the best thing that we can do with that, of course, we can be sad about it, and we have the right to. That's part of the human experience. However, what Saturn is teaching us is to let go, to surrender, and, you know, see how that thing was valuable in our lives at that time, and then also being open to new experiences. And Saturn allows for new experiences to happen. It declutters whatever's in our life, so to speak, right? Not that the things and people that were in our lives were not necessarily clutter. That's not what I'm saying, but I am saying that it's time for something to leave, right? Seven is part of it's a huge cyclical number. It's a number of endings. We let go of that thing, we surrender, and we do nothing. Saturn, people with strong Saturns in their charts oftentimes live a long time, because Saturn's not meant to do anything. It's a lazy planet. So if we have a strong Saturn, we're not trying to get a replica of that thing back into our lives, because that thing is supposed to be gone. So we're here to accept, surrender, and you know, you can relax with Saturn and with the number 7. So yeah, this person with 7 of diamonds is really going to have to face endings, losses, and the limitation of resources, money, anything in the material world, but especially money and skills. So there comes to a point where we realize that I'm not going to make any more money than I am, okay? And it doesn't mean that our person isn't going to have money with this card. You can be a multi-millionaire, you can be a billionaire with this card. It just means that there's a limit, there's a cap to how much each person is going to make in a lifetime. Some people make more, some people make less. And it's just realizing that there's only so much I'm going to make in this world. How do I make the best of this? There's only so much I can do with this skill. There's only so much I can learn with this skill, or my ability to learn with this thing in this lifetime. There's always a ceiling for us. And this card is just being realistic in this world, in this reality that we live in, this material, physical realm. There's just always going to be a limit to things of value and things in the material realm. And so this card can be a huge ego bruiser. So this card is about accepting that, hey, my ego is being bruised and it doesn't feel good, it's uncomfortable, it sucks, it's painful, it's traumatic, and just having to live with that and deal with that, but just also seeing the beauty in that this card is really trying to humble you, and it can be a very spiritual card. And when we reach that limit in the material world, that helps us go into the spiritual world, right? When we can only go so far in the material world, that can really help a person be more spiritual. 8 of diamonds. The 8 of diamonds birth cards corresponds to the Hangman tarot card and to the planet Rahu. This card is a card that has to do with self-reflection. So a person with this is really here to learn their self-worth. They're gonna have life experiences, particularly that might be challenging, that can maybe seem confusing. It can, you know, a person might have more experiences that are new experiences. It can seem a little chaotic. And the number 8 has to do with newness, because 8 times 8 is 64, and when we add 6 plus 4 we get 10, and we reduce 10, 1 plus 0 to 1. So a big part of the number 8 is the self-reflection. And as we go out into this material realm, that can feel very strange to us at times, and we're like, what the heck is going on in this world? Because you're probably there's probably kind of like this confusion around how this world works, right? You're probably like, I don't understand this world. I don't understand why there's so much of a focus on material things, or why certain things are happening, probably. And so Rahu, which rules this card, represents strange places and strange things. And so you're just trying to navigate this strange world that we live in. And as you do that, you're learning more about yourself. And this is the Hangman card. And so you're hanging upside down. You're looking at things from a different perspective. And when you're hanging upside down, there's nothing you can do, right, except surrender. So there's a huge aspect to this card that has to do with surrendering your ego, surrendering what you think you know, and just kind of like, okay, I'm here, let me just see things from a different perspective. And what would be good with this card is maybe try seeing things from other people's perspective, right? If we don't understand why you know, something happened out of the blue. Say that you're with someone and all of a sudden they broke up with you and you're so confused. You're like, that came out of nowhere. Well, try putting yourself in their shoes. That could help, even though it's not saying that they're right or wrong or anything, but just try seeing things from their perspective. And that would be a good thing to practice if you have an 8 of Diamonds birth card, because things could probably seem very confusing and chaotic. And then another thing with the 8 of Diamonds is you're learning your self-worth. So as you go into this world, your self-worth is going to be reflected to you. So if you're not sure what your self-worth is, that's okay. Just continue going out into the world and that will be reflected back to you. So for example, if you have a business and you, let's say you sell shirts and you're selling them for $2, but they're really, really nice shirts and you put a lot of effort into them, but they're not selling. Well, maybe the price is too low, okay? And so people don't see it as valuable. Or you can be selling shirts and you're charging $100 for them and you don't have, no one knows who you are yet. So that could be too overpriced. So your worth, the worth of your shirts and of your brand, that's reflected back to you. So that's just an example of paying attention to how your worth is being reflected back. Or maybe you're attracting a certain type of partner and you feel like you're worth more than how you're being treated, then definitely let that be a signal to how maybe you're treating yourself. And then maybe you're getting great experiences. Maybe you're having great experiences as you go into the world. People are respecting you because you respect yourself, and that's being reflected back. So that would be an awesome thing. So 8 of Diamonds is the mirror, and it's just realizing that the world isn't an enemy, it's our friend, and to learn to work with the energy of the world and to let that help us determine our own worth and the worth of other things. 9 of Diamonds. The 9 of Diamonds corresponds to the full tarot card and the planet K2. We use the diamond suit to indicate actual diamonds. So what I like to look at with the diamond suit, especially the number 9, is we all have this thing of value to us. And then especially a 9 of Diamonds person, there's something especially really valuable that you have within you. That could be a skill that you have, certain respect, money, whatever the case may be. There's something that is valuable, and we all are valuable in our own ways, of course. But what the 9 of Diamonds person is learning is to get rid of things that are no longer them, to let go of what's not perfect. And 9 of Diamonds is the card of perfection. It's mastery. So you're here to really master the material world. And it doesn't mean that you will necessarily, but you're here to work on that. And 3, 6, and 9s are all correlated with each other. So with the 3 of Diamonds, our person is really struggling with their finances, or person's really working on their material growth or material world. And with the 6 of Diamonds, a person is learning to be content with their material situation. And then a 9 of Diamonds person is realizing that they've mastered the material world already, and now it's time to let go. And 9 of Diamonds is the end of the material world. It's the end of a cycle. It's the end of a journey. And once we get to the end, we can start letting that go. So a lot of 9 of Diamonds people are charitable people. They give their resources away because they've already perfected it. They've already perfected the material world, and they're ready to go onto more of a spiritual level. And the 9 of Diamonds cards, they tend to be very intuitive, and it might sound counterintuitive because it corresponds to the Fool card. And so you might say, well, I thought it was a fool. Well, they can actually say foolish things that actually turn out to be true. Things that you're just like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So they can just say things because perhaps they have an understanding of the material world, this understanding of how it works, to where they just intuitively know. Let's not go to that realtor. They're probably not the best realtor, because I see their hairline's not good. And so, which it makes no sense, right? So it sounds very foolish, but that's just something that they determined in their mind. And if you end up going to that realtor, that person probably wouldn't even be a good realtor. Not because of their hairline, but they just intuitively knew that they weren't going to work out for some reason. So 9 of Diamonds can be very intuitive. Learning to master this material world, and of course knowing their worth is important. Once we've mastered this material world, we've let go of a lot of self-importance, because 9s have to do with the ego and letting go of the ego. So once we let go of self-importance, like this is what makes me important, or I feel better than this person because of X, Y, and Z, or that person, which isn't true. No one's better than anybody. But once a person realizes that and they let their ego go and their self-importance, then they are able to shine. The seed of God that's within them, that diamond is refined and polished within them, and they are perfect, and they can just shine and connect to the divine, because there's nothing that's in between them and source, because they're this pure thing. And so a person with a 9 of Diamonds is learning to get to that place of perfection, of letting go of the ego, being charitable, and realizing that they're always going to be taken care of, because the more we give, we get that back. They're getting rid of all the junk and just allowing their perfect essence to kind of shine. And 9 of Diamonds can be a tough card, right? To go through the end of a journey, it's not easy. 9 of Diamonds is not easy, because you are having to let go of a lot of things, and you do experience the limitations of this world. And as you do that, you're able to connect to that which is limitless, though. The 10 of Diamonds. The 10 of Diamonds corresponds to the Wheel of Fortune tarot card and to the ecliptic. With this card, you are going on different levels of the material world. So you might experience the material world on one level, because Ace through 9 is one cycle, and then 10 is going to the next cycle, and then you'll experience another cycle of the material world. So you're going to the next level, to the next level. And with this, you can have a lot of different experiences. You can be very skillful as a person. You can juggle a lot of different skills, a lot of different things. And you are here to really experience your abundance of success. You can be very successful. And this card also corresponds to the self. 10 comprises of two numbers, 1 and 0. When we add 1 and 0, we get the number 1 in numerology. So this card really corresponds to the self, which is the number 1. And so you can really, as you have these different experiences in the world, these very valuable experiences, you're learning about your self-worth on new levels. And so this is a beautiful card to have. And you can also learn new skills, and then just keep going to different levels when it comes to your skills and your money as well. And as you do that, just be open to knowing your self-worth and knowing what you are allowing into your life, making sure that thing is worth your time, money, and energy. Is this new, relationship worth your time, money, and energy? Is that aligned to who you are? If you know you are a person of high worth, of high value, and this new partner wants to start calling you names, then you automatically know that, hey, I was maybe at that level, 5 years ago, but I'm at a whole nother level now where I only want to be spoken to with respect. So this is a nice card to have in order to just keep growing as a person and knowing your self-worth. Another thing with this card is 10s have to do with patience and endurance. So it can take quite a bit of time for you to feel successful when it comes to your skills or anything to do with your worth or getting the respect that you want. It can take a long time. And so this is a consistent path. So just have patience with yourself. If you're not there, if you're not as successful as you want to be, if you don't have the best self-worth, just continue on this path, and your self-worth and your success can improve over time. Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Diamonds corresponds to Uranus and the Sun tarot card. All jacks connect to children and to youth, and children and youth tend to be creative, and we all are creative in our own way, but children usually connect to creativity in a unique way. So this card is about really discovering what is your creative skill that you have. It's about letting that creative channel flow through you, what makes you unique flow through you. And so a person with this card can have something valuable about them that is unique and special. And because this card has to do with being unique and special, a lot of times a person with this birth card, when they are younger especially, there's something about them that kind of makes them this golden child. Because jacks really energize the Ace of Diamonds, the Two of Diamonds, and the Three of Diamonds, those are all cards that have to do with the potential of the material world and the potential of our skills, the potential of our worth. And it's not something that's quite concrete yet, that's quite solid. So Jack of Diamonds people might have a lot of expectations put upon them when they're younger, and because there's this uniqueness about them that flows, or there's this potential that is great, you can kind of envision maybe something great about this person. And a lot of times though, because of the birth card spread, because of the way a person's cards lay out with the Jack of Diamonds birth card, there are other cards, they tend to not necessarily meet those expectations in life. And their ecliptic card is a King of Spades. So the path that they're on is a King of Spades, which is actually a self-sacrificing card. So it's actually a Hermit card as well. So as they continue on their path, they become more withdrawn. Other things in their birth card spread may indicate that they might not realize the potential that was kind of placed upon them. Also, Jack of Diamonds, because they are getting a lot of experiences with the material world, and they're learning about not only their self-worth but the worth of others, they can be quite good salespeople because they know the value of things. And so because they know the value of things, they can sell you on those things that are valuable. When you are experiencing your value, your worth in new ways, and really kind of exploring the material world, you are learning to master your card in a very worthwhile way. Queen of Diamonds. This card corresponds to the planet Neptune and the Justice Tarot card. All queens are the hard workers. They work hard to improve a situation. They're about making the long-term efforts, the long-term adjustments, and they help things materialize in a really nice way. And because it's Neptune, Neptune is this planet of yearning. It's something that we yearn for. But whatever we yearn for, it usually takes some effort and some long-term planning. So a person with the Queen of Diamonds is able to really manage a lot of different things and improve them. They can make good managers. I like to think of Queen of Diamonds as kind of like these alchemists who can transform something from one state to another. And with this card, it's important that a person makes progress with things that are worthwhile to them, things that are valuable to them, and to really embody that material progress in life. A person with this birth card is really learning to manage their material responsibilities, maybe even improve their skills, and to be very successful. Queen of Diamonds have the potential to be extremely successful because they can be very skillful, and they have that ability to take something from one state and improve it and to make it into an even better state. Having a Queen of Diamonds birth card is like being born with this kind of uncut gem where you slowly refine it. As you have more experiences in the world, you can refine it, cut it, polish it, and as you get older, you have this gemstone that is just beautiful, that's polished, and that's shining. And that's what I think of when I think of a Queen of Diamonds birth card. Also, Queen of Diamonds can be very intuitive because they have a lot of experiences in this material world, and intuitively they can kind of determine what is going to be the right path or not, and they have this sense of understanding that the way things play out, you know, everything is happening in perfect harmony. King of Diamonds birth card. The King of Diamonds corresponds to Pluto and to the full tarot card. So Pluto is the destructive force. It destroys anything in its path. And the good thing about kings is they destroy anything that gets in its way, any obstacles. So kings have a lot of power. And so we have a King of Diamonds, which is a really powerful card. And diamonds is something of value. So King of Diamonds people are born with something that's very valuable to them or very valuable to others. However, the problem is that it can be, this value can be occulted, because as we go through life, as we deal with different situations in this reality, we kind of cover up this diamond that we have. We cover up this shining thing that's worthy of a lot of worth. So any trauma that we may have, you know, we cover that inside of ourselves. That gets covered. Any pain, any type of mistrust that we have for other people, that gets covered. So we keep burying things inside of us. And the goal of King of Diamonds is to uncover all of the filth that we have built up to cover up the diamond. We used certain techniques to help us navigate this world that we live in. It was a way to protect ourselves. So instead of getting slapped and abused by, you know, a parent, we decided to stay quiet, right? And that quietness isn't necessarily who we are, but we use that technique in order to get through the world. We had to use that technique when we were younger. So when we're older, we don't always have to use that technique. So we have to find who we are, who we are, what is true to ourselves. And in order to do that, we kind of have to get rid of all of these things, these ego complexes and shed our ego, our, you know, anything that we have that we've had to use in the past in order to get through life at a certain point of time. But we have to realize that maybe I don't need to use certain coping mechanisms anymore in order to continue on through my path. Those things are no longer necessary. And so instead of adding more junk into our lives, more coping mechanisms, more ego complexes, and things like that, the King of Diamonds wants to get rid of those things. And as we heal, what's left is this pure diamond that is beautiful within us. And so this can be a really beautiful card. It does take a lot of sacrificing of the ego. We might have to get rid of actual physical things in our lives. Physical things in our lives may leave us. They may be destroyed. And that is so that we can go through this purification process where there's only this beautiful shining diamond that is within us that shines. Also, a person with this card can be financially successful, especially if they go through this purification process of kind of getting rid of things on a physical level and internally, any kind of baggage internally or externally. If they can get rid of those things, they can really be successful because they have a handle of the material world. They understand value, what's important, you know, getting rid of what's not important, and the things that are truly important and valuable in one's life. Those are the things that will shine the brightest. Those are the things that will withstand the test of time, like diamonds do. A person with this, if they really master this card, it can be successful and also charitable. Kings can be very charitable. When a king is not secure in themselves, right? So King of Diamonds is all about security and also knowing their worth. All kings strive to be noble. And when we are carrying a lot of baggage and we carry a lot of hate within us and resentment towards, you know, things that have happened to us, when we're carrying those things, the baggage, then we aren't becoming noble kings. We tend to become tyrants at times, or, you know, we might be dishonest. So it's really important for kings to kind of go on this path of nobility and really shedding anything that is no longer of value to them. A king that knows his or her worth will, you know, focus on what's valuable to them, and they can then focus on their kingdom, and they won't be focused on someone else's kingdom because they know their value. They know what is worth their time, money, and energy, and so they won't be bothered with kind of ruling someone else's kingdom or worried about what other people are doing, because they're focused on what they should be doing. And then that helps them be more successful because they're working on their skills and not someone else's. I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.